To close the gender data gap, I think we need a concerted effort from across the research sector. So that involves individual researchers, universities, research funders, the regulators who license medicines and create clinical guidelines, and also the scientific and medical publishers. So policies, I think, do work. We have evidence from Canada that funding policies do change practice, but actually every single member of that pipeline needs to create a policy and put pressure, both incentives, so carrots and sticks as it were, to encourage researchers to think that sex and gender is worth their time. They need to consider this, and not because it's a nice thing to do, it's because this is actually a standard of excellent science, and it's about accuracy and generalizability.
In medical science, there is a gender gap in many situations. First, in the people that work in medical science, because medical science is doctors, but it's also researchers, and researchers are mostly male. Then there is also a gender gap in the data and the research that we are doing in medical science, because there is this first gender gap in the people that do the research. And so this gender gap in the data also has an impact on the results that we have and the publications.
For a long time, not as many women as men have been recruited into clinical studies and trials, and that means that we do not know as much about the side effects and the effects of drugs, complications, signs and symptoms of diseases for women as we do know about for men.
I work in psychiatry, where it's a specialty where there hasn't been historically much attention to sex and gender differences, and there are many that have been investigated that are worrying, and I think show that there are many more hiding in plain sight. So one that strikes me every day in my work is antipsychotic medication. It's prescribed for conditions like schizophrenia, bipolar disorder, and it's prescribed the same doses for men and women. But actually we know that women require lower doses to have the same therapeutic effect. And what we're doing by giving men and women the same doses is often exposing women to unnecessary side effects, some of which are inconvenient, some of which affect their quality of life, and some of which are dangerous.
So in my research, which would be in the field of economics, one of the traditional data gaps is in career choices, because it's very difficult to find effects of different leadership in when a man is leading a team or when a woman is leading a team, because we do not have enough examples of female leadership.
It's important that data are of high quality. Data gaps means that high quality is not there. So one of my duty is to be sure that data are more and more of high quality, so that the systems that work on this kind of data can produce information of value.
By developing new tools and also new data initiative, we can try to close the gap. We can evaluate the fairness of our approaches, given that we have these new tools, and then also oversample the populations that we are missing right now. So that's something that in the future will lead to active learning schemes where we can go and sample what we are missing.